So it's educating people on the facts. What the things I'm pushing right now for our residents, there are products, there's a polymer out there, it's called hydrotain, and you put it down on the lawn, and it's kind of like the vermiculite, the little white pellets that you see in your potting soil. So it's a similar concept where it holds the moisture in the soil longer. So that's one option, so that the moisture will stay in the soil longer and you don't have to water as much. Mow high, I mean, it's kind of like a Cheech and Chong saying, mow high. Because if you mow high, then you're you have less sunlight hitting the soil, and so the soil doesn't dry out as quickly. In addition, the higher the grass, the deeper the roots can grow as well. The deeper the roots grow, the less the evaporation, the less often you have to water it. And finally, put in a grass alternative. There's one thing that I love is called Carapia. It's a ground cover, super drought tolerant. It's not native to California, but it works great in California. It's got super deep roots. They'll grow about 6 feet down if you water right. Initially, you have to water it to get it established, but then you can water it once every 2 weeks. It gets a great little flower in the spring, and it's a pollinator for bees. And that's what else we have to work on, is bringing more birds, bees, and butterflies into our habitats. Oh, and and then it's educating gardeners who have just done more of a mow and blow kind of a job. That's all they had to do in the past. Educating them on what to plant, how to water it right, how to maintain it, and the right plant in the right place.
One of my team members said to ask you about xeriscape.
Okay.
Is that still a thing? And what is it exactly? I kind of think I know what it is, but you tell us.
Xeriscape to me and to a lot of people that that do what I do is kind of has a negative connotation. It's something that we used decades ago as like the Palm Springs or the desert landscape, just a really dry looking landscape.
Barren.
So I think to improve the image and the belief of what you can create, they call it more a drought tolerant landscape, a water wise landscape. I call what I do a water wise wonderland. There's California friendly, drought tolerant, and these landscapes use plants that are more adaptive to our climate. I'm all for doing native plants because they're supposed to be here. Well, Southern California native, because they're supposed to be here. They do well in this climate. But I must admit, I love Australian plants. I love any Mediterranean plant that's gonna bloom, give me color, invite in hummingbirds and butterflies, bees, birds. It just, you make a yard that turns into this habitat where who needs to watch TV? You can just sit in your yard and, enjoy your yard.
Even better. And, the birds and the bees have a new meeting now because, it might be awkward to have your kids talking about the birds and the bees conversation, but the birds are falling to the ground dead in the heat, and the insects are disappearing, and like all signs of ecosystem collapse. It's quite daunting, isn't it? And yet
it is.
We know too much to quit, right?
Absolutely. No, I'm gonna fight till the end.
We're lifers. Yeah.